stack.
Yeah.
Here we
You're
do
good.
it. We're gonna do
You're
this.
good. Yep.
So
It's Riverdale. It's Riverdale.
It's Riverdale. So this is the new CW TV show, and Netflix is doing an amazing thing. So I don't really watch TV, but I do watch Netflix, and so Netflix is paired up, I think, with CW to do this episodic weekly release of this television show, Riverdale. And so N-Bea, you're gonna give us a little bit of an overview of what.
Yeah. So just a quick. So in this episode, we're gonna be recapping chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, because 4 was just released this morning on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we both watched it right away.
Right away.
So it's Riverdale. It's the Archie comics. It's the characters that we know and love from Archie.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has a really different spin to it.
Yeah.
There's like a really dark and really like sexy vibe that's going on with the show that like I think you and me are both feeling.
Definitely.
It's a lot more adult.
Yeah.
People are calling it, like the new Gossip Girl or like the new like PLL.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
which are both shows
so
that we
much
watched
better than PLL.
when we were in high school as well.
Yeah.
Growing up. So yeah, it's definitely like a teen.
It's a teen show,
television show,
but it's also like certain things happen, and I'm like, damn, like I don't think another show would have touched on that. So it's really cool. The writing is really, really well done.
So far, yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
So I think let's just get into Riverdale.
Sure.
So we start off in chapter 1, and you see, I think it was like Archie and. How does it open
So
up?
it all starts off with the murder.
The
so it all
murder.
starts off with the disappearance.
Of course, there's a murder.
Of course, and I think that's the best instigator. There's a couple instigators for the way the show is presented to us, and it starts with a murder, or disappearance.
Two redheaded kids going
Two
into the water.
redheaded twins, yeah, of course, weirdos.
Yeah.
And then one of them doesn't come back. The boy, Jason Blossom, who is the twin brother of Cheryl Blossom, who they both go to the same school, whatever. They go missing. He goes missing, and that's kind of how it all starts. And we also discovered a character coming into the storyline. So it's the new girl storyline.
The new girl storyline, which is Veronica Lodge,
Mm-hmm.
which is Veronica of Betty and Veronica.
Yes.
And so she's coming back to town after her father is sort of like a Bernie Madoff sort of rip-off of that whole storyline. And so he's in jail, so the mom and her end up packing up New York, and they come back to town because the mom was originally from Riverdale too.
Right.
And I guess they're living like in a hotel or something. Like the mom owns this property, but like we don't really know what it is. But there's a butler, so like I'm assuming it's a hotel or condo or something.
Yeah, something.
But it's like pretty still. It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're there.
Yeah.
New girl.
And then we get introduced to the rest of the squad as the episode goes on, as episode 1, 2, 3, obviously, and 4 go on. So there's also.
So I think the main squad is like we have Archie and Betty.
Of course.
Veronica now. Kevin, who is Betty's like close friend.
Gay best friend. Yeah.
Gay best friend. But so much more than that.
Yes. You're right.
Jughead. And then sometimes Cheryl. Because like, she tries to weasel her way in.
Yeah, Cheryl and
as
Loki.
we saw in chapter 4, when she freaking like comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
She's like, "Can I sit with you guys?" And Veronica's like, "What?"
I was like, "I guess you can sit with us."
Like, you were in another car. Like, why did you hop off? Okay. Anyways,
it's true. I agree.
Yeah, and then I think a huge thing that we find out in the first chapter is Archie and his teacher, Grundy.
Yeah.
And that they're having an affair, that they had an affair in the summer, and she saw him on the side of the road, and he was all like shirtless and like sweaty, and she was like, damn, I'm gonna hit that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what happened.
I'm gonna hit that in my little car, though, by the water.
Yeah, do a Titanic moment,
like,
and
so
just like
stupid.
have like the sweaty palm
and like
on
she
the
just
door.
to me looks like the epitome of like the teacher that like a boy will have sex
it's funny
because
she like with those like horn rim glasses,
like,
she looks like the personification of like a dirty teacher in like a
That's
music video, like a rock music video.
And then like if you notice, like she literally holds her hair up like with a pencil. she is that teacher. Yeah. Like it's like they're waiting for that moment when like she unravels her hair and like Archie sees her and like gets a boner. Like that's the moment.
And like so essentially they've got this like secret relationship which continues to unfold, and I guess like we're gonna do a really quick like wrap up of the 1, 2, and 3.
Like, they're basically trying to like tell you like low key or high key that Archie and the teacher heard a gunshot, on July 4th when that boy went missing.
Mm-hmm.
So they know information. They don't want to say it because if they admit to the police that they were there, like, you know, they're gonna know they're like having an affair. Like, why are they together like 6 o'clock in the morning, like in a park?
Yeah.
So that's like that's basically Archie's drama in the first 3, because like he's so preoccupied by this. It's like haunting him.
That's true.
He's like guilt-ridden. He's like, I need to tell someone. Like,
and then same on the low key, Betty's like
high-key chasing
admitting
him.
her like endearing love for him.
In the first episode especially, she's like,
and he like shuts her down because he's like, I'm doing stuff with another person.
You did not say that. He was more like, we're just friends, though.
He's like, but I love you as a friend.
Yeah.
Like the worst thing you could ever say to a girl.
The weirdest dynamic. Like,
It's
I don't
so
understand.
weird. Poor girl.
Anyways. So Archie's like ripped. Everyone's like, yo, Archie, you're so ripped now.
Yeah,
like, what happened
is
to you over the
ripped.
summer? And he's like,
pretty...
I work in construction.
I worked in construction.
On the Fifth Harmony video. Work from. Yeah, so he's ripped. So a little bit about like, okay, so Veronica. Let's talk about Veronica for a little bit.
Okay.
Because she's the new girl.
New girl.
And it was funny because, like, I love how in chapter 4, Kevin was like, what did we do without this girl?
Yeah.
Like, what was life like
what is
before
life before
her?
this? He's like, I really don't remember.
Yeah.
So funny.
I think before we close off chapter 1, the first episode, a huge thing happens because Veronica's mom gets, like, a bag. The butler's like, you have a bag? And, like, she opens the bag and there's a whole lot of, like, cash in there.
Yeah.
So... you're just like, what the hell? Like, where does this money come
what
from?
Is this money?
Like, how is this woman still having money? Like, something shady going on.
I mean, your assumption is that it comes from the dad.
I thought it was her. Like, I thought she knew. I thought she, like, had money stacked away somewhere, like, secret.
I mean,
and,
I feel
she was just pretending that, like, she didn't know. So, but no,
I feel like I consider, like, since he's a Bernie Madoff character, that it was money from somebody.
Yeah.
Like, most likely from her husband.
And also in chapter 1, Betty. She's popping pills.
She popping those Adderalls.
Yeah.
Because her mom
is fucking psycho.
Well, because I think it's because her mom is like really, really like...
Oh, and Betty has a sister named Polly who dated Jason, who's the kid that went missing. That was like a huge part of chapter 1.
Yeah, true. Slash, like, he's dead now. He got shot in the head and his body was dumped in the water.
So at the end of chapter 1...
We're missing a lot of key points.
Sorry, guys. So after end of chapter 1, Kevin and Moose go to hook up by the water, which is like where I guess everyone goes to like have sex. Yeah. And then they find like Jason's dead body and there's like a gunshot, like a bullet hole in his head. So like they're like, okay, he was murdered, obviously. Yeah. That's how chapter 1 ends off. And Betty is like, she's popping pills. Yeah. She kind of looks,
a little sketch.
You don't know what she's
got some issues.
You know,
some
she's a little unstable.
Problems.
Yeah.
Sure.
Her sister is like full out crazy because she's like in a mental
like
asylum.
Institute right now.
Yeah. So the mom's like pure like sketched out because she's like my other daughter might end up like her too now. Yeah. Okay, so now we can go into chapter 2. And for chapter 2, I don't know.
Chapter 2 is probably like a little bit less like crazy, but there's still things that happen. So I think by the end of it, we do realize that Cheryl.
Pure dramatics.
Yeah, pure dramatics. So like the police come in and they're like, she's like, you're gonna arrest me. I know you're gonna arrest me, and it's because I'm guilty. And then you find out in episode 3 that she's not saying that she's guilty of killing her brother. She's guilty of lying to the police about what had happened on that July 4th day.
Right.
Because the story that she gave the police was that the boat overturned and
he drowned or something.
He went missing. Whereas the real story is they went across the boat and they were gonna stage his death or like his like missingness, and he would go like run off and live his life. And then so it was still a surprise to her that when like he came, like his body was found dead.
Because she didn't think that he was dead.
Yeah, she thought that he dipped.
I don't know if this happens in chapter 2 or 3, but that scene when they're at the football game, right? And she's up there and she's seeing like Archie run through like the sheet when they're like the parade when they're about to play, and she sees her brother like in the front row, and I was like it actually like hit me. I was like, that's so like. It's sad.
It's sad.
I think that was like the first time where she's like, oh my God, like he's dead.
Down.
My brother's dead.
Yeah. And I think.
And like what his life could have been, like that could have been him running there, like in the front row.
And I think that's the thing that, and it's kind of like weird that Archie's like
I love that
literally
they gave that
replacing replacing
He's
him.
replacing him.
Look wise, like he looks exactly like
and
him.
like the number, like the position.
Yeah.
But also from her perspective, like she's kind of been the villain thus far, and so to give her that moment of like she just breaks down.
Right. And that's how Veronica comes out of nowhere to like really like sister power, like I'll take care of you or whatever.
Yeah, Veronica like runs after her, and this is like when like Betty and Veronica are like cheese at each other because like Veronica ends up kissing Archie in the closet.
True.
So then when Betty sees Veronica like being nice to Cheryl, she's like, "True, like you're a good friend, like you're probably a good person too. So like let's be friends now."
Yeah. All the while, like Betty's mom is like, "Don't ever hang out with any of those those people because they're fucking crazy. Yeah. Or like they're not good for you."
Yeah. So that's chapter 2. Chapter 3 was like really I liked chapter 3.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
It was good. It was like a lot of different themes going on in the episode. There was like slut shaming. There was like
a guy version of a burn book.
Archie,
like it was
just
so like
it was
it basically
really
like,
and also what's her face, Ethel, aka
Barb
from Stranger Things.
Yeah. She comes out of nowhere. So I just really quickly want to touch upon this because it was like the most funny situation to see. So she comes forward as one of the girls in the high school that gets like slut shamed by the same guy that Veronica gets slut shamed.
Clayton, I think.
Yeah. Who's Sticky Maple's hair.
And I totally fell for him, by the way. In that car scene, I was like, damn, he's really cute. Like, and the way he was like talking, I was like, damn.
And they're like, of course, they gave.
Like, what am I gonna do with you? I'm like, oh shit. Like,
and then
he's like, he's like smart, but like hot too.
Sticky Maple's
totally screwed her over. Totally.
Check out,
guys, check out our post.
Yeah.
You're gonna, we full out went. What is
like
it?
Pause.
Full dark, no stars.
Full dark, no stars. Yeah.
On this post, and we just analyzed the shit out of the Instagram comments that were under Veronica's like picture.
So well done, hilarious.
We were cracking up. Oh my god.
Dying of laughter. That was a highlight.
Yeah. So that happens, but Ethel comes into the play.
Ethel comes into play. She like talks about like her like pain points and like what had happened, but you don't know that her name is Ethel at this point. But then by that point, you should know if you watch Stranger Things that it's Barb from Stranger Things. And then
I just looked at you and I was like, does this girl like never get a good name?
It's like
Ethel
like,
Muggs.
Ethel
Muggs.
Ethel Muggs.
Like this girl,
like Barb.
And, like, her attire is
Ethel.
like her attire is like very like.
And you made a good point. You made a good point. Like this girl has like a indoor pool. Yeah. She has a hot tub.
So later
on
in the episode, like we see that like she has like an indoor pool and a hot tub where like Betty and Veronica do their little thing, and I was like in high school, if you had an indoor pool, like you're probably gonna be the coolest girl in school.
Like why do you look like that? So mean. But it's true. Yeah, not even just like Cheryl probably would have jumped in on that
like a nerd.
and like done.
You should have been a cool girl.
Exactly. Unless everybody in Riverdale is fucking
has
rich.
An indoor pool.
I feel like
no, except for Jughead, obviously.
Poor Jughead. So I think we're getting off topic, but yeah. So essentially, the whole episode is about like.
But that scene.
That scene was ridiculous.
Episode 3 had a really, really cool scene because Betty and Veronica, and this is what I love. It's so not about like Betty, Veronica, Archie. It's like Archie's like on the side low key, but like Betty and Veronica are doing their own thing. They're like doing like their like scheming, and they actually set up a plan to get Chuck to come over, and like they trick him, and then like they do like they make him admit that like he didn't fool around with like Veronica that night or whatever. But like the way they did it was freaking hilarious because Betty is legit psycho.
Yeah, this is the episode that she
gets
realized
like
Sasha
Fierce and like becomes someone else.
She fully gets like a wig on.
But Veronica's face when she sees her, she's like what?
Like, yeah, she's like black
she's
wig.
Like, girl, what are you doing right now?
It's like too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, way too much.
It was way too much.
But like they kill it.
But you see it, right? Because like you see that her she's cracking and she's like, Jason, you better tell me, my name is Polly. And and then Veronica's like, girl, you're not your sister. Like this is like you. Yeah. So you can see it. You can see Betty like kind of losing her shit. So yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And also I love that like side shot of Ethel opening the door and being like, yeah.
I know that too.
I was like, what a random shot.
She's like, you're nailing them. You're nailing them. Good job. Bye.
She's like, you guys got towels? You guys good? Is it too hot in here? I can tell my mom to It was so random.
It's so true.
Because like they went as far as like being like Ethel won't be home with her parents, so we have the pool, and like then she showed up. So like it was funny.
She's like curvy pig. She didn't even like sit and wait and watch them or like take any pictures or nothing.
Girl, you should have watched that. That was good.
Creeped in.
And also the music in that scene was really funny.
It was
too.
like next level.
The way they edited it was a good scene.
It was a good scene. It was lots of fun to watch.
So that was chapter 3.
Okay, so now you guys, we're gonna get into episode 4.
Oh wait, but chapter 3?
No, we're not.
Hold on, at the end,
At the
there's
very
a woman's march.
Oh my god.
No.
They fully had a woman's march to say, yeah, they totally did.
And then Chuck gets kicked out of school, right? Or the football team.
Yeah,
he gets kicked out of school. Yeah.
He gets off the he gets kicked off the
And also
thing.
in the middle of all
not
this,
just him, like
the whole
group,
team.
a big group of them. Yeah.
And also in the middle of this, Jughead finds out about Archie's affair with the teacher.
He does.
So he knows.
He does.
And also he's now working with Betty in the school newspaper. So like they're like
to uncover this
now.
mystery. Yeah.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
now we're good.
And you also find out like she also finds out from the Boy Scout that Grundy's car was at the place. So it starts to uncover.
So I was wondering that too, yeah, because in chapter 4, Betty's like, I know this. And I was like, wait, how does she know? I'm like, oh yeah, true.
He came
the
to
guy
her.
told her. Yeah.
The Boy Scout came to her and told her that like the car was there. Okay, so now
Chapter
we're
4.
Episode 4. So this was a very interesting one to watch.
This one was good.
Okay, so you find out that they were tearing down the cinema, this like cinema that Jughead works at. And so he's really, really cheesed, and they're all kind of talking at the diner together.
He's like so cheesed.
He's like,
he was like turned up.
He's like, bro, this is my home.
And then after we're like, true, it is your home.
It is your home. Like you live
like
here
literally, it's your home.
Yeah.
It was funny because like he was saying it, and I was like, why is he so fucking like excited about this topic?
Yeah, he's so upset
and
about
Betty's
it.
just like mossing there, like drinking her milkshake.
Yeah.
But like she's also like preoccupied because she's thinking about Archie.
She's thinking about Archie because she's like now putting 2 and 2 together. She's like, okay, so Archie.
She's like, teacher.
Archie was at the place at the like stop on July 4th, and so was Grundy. And she's like, maybe they were there together. So she's pretty smart. She deduced that they're together.
And it wasn't like, it's not like Grundy and Archie are like opposite ends of the school. They were always together because Archie had lessons with her. Yeah. So it's already like, they already have this like relationship of like teacher and student. So like Betty was like, true, like he took lessons with her. Yeah. They're close. Maybe they're fucking. Like that's what she got to.
But yeah. So the one thing that I really want to talk about, since it happened in the beginning of the episode, is they talk about like what movies to watch at the like theater before it closed down.
So the episode of this, it's called The Last Picture Show.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love this moment because it was just all like, so it came full circle. Mm-hmm. But yeah, go on.
So the part that I thought was interesting was like, so they're like, oh, what movie should we watch? Like, what would your favorite movie to be screened? And Kevin, his name is Kevin. Yeah. He's like, I'd be down for like The Talented Mr. Ripley. Yeah.
Why did he say that though?
And I was very intrigued by that answer because I was like, why out of all movies would you choose The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Right. I feel like each one of their answers had meaning to something.
Well, Talented Mr. Ripley is about a murderer who pretends to be pretends to be something else, and then he ends up like killing people as he goes along. Right. And Betty decides to choose Rebel Without a Cause, which I think is what they end up screening.
Is it?
I think pretty sure.
And then they all laughed, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, because like she's trying to be like different because she like wore a wig last episode. Yeah, so then I think at one point in time, is this when Archie walks in?
Yeah, then Archie walks in because, this is so stupid. The dad is so annoying, Luke Perry. Yeah. Because like he goes to Miss Grundy's like recital, and Archie's there too, and he's like, you want to go to dinner with like my son and like me?
At the diner.
Like, yeah, okay, at the diner.
Is there any other place in this freaking world like diner?
But this is why they do small towns, because like everyone always like collides.
Also, Grundy's like really stupid for saying like, okay, I'm down.
Well, even Archie gave her that look. He full out looked at her. He was like, do not say yes, and then she was like, yes. So like he didn't want it either. He was like, don't. Like he was like giving her the signs. So then they end up at Pops.
So they roll in, and then like at this point,
Betty wasted no time.
She can't control herself.
Like, Archie, we need to talk.
So she like pulls him outside.
He's like, call me later. She's like, no.
She goes outside and she's like, are you fucking Grundy? Like she didn't say that in exact words, but like she was like, were you guys together at that time? I know. And as she like she's like outside with him, V
also,
comes
Veronica
in.
was very extra in this moment because she was just like,
she's like,
what
hey
are they
guys,
talking
what's going
about?
on?
Yeah.
She's like, wait a minute.
She's like, I need to be out there.
And she says something so joke. She's like, Miss Grundy is Archie's booty tutor?
She has the best lines. She has the best
lines. Booty tutor. So he admits to it, and then so now the girls find out, and then you get this like full speech from Betty basically saying, Boy, what you doing, though?
You know
like, shake your head and, like, don't do this.
Just in this scene and also for the episode, you know what I really wish happened?
Yeah.
Because, this whole time Archie's like, like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I am, and, like, it's so good, and I like her, and, like, just admit, like, this, you're having sex, like, with your teacher, and it's turning you on. Yeah. Just admit to that. Yeah. like he was never, like, saying that. He was like, but we have such good conversations, and, like, she's so talented. No. She's talented at sex.
At sex.
With you.
And
like, that's what you're doing right now.
You've had, like, a sexual awakening.
And maybe they couldn't get, like, right in there and say that.
True.
But, like, as a young boy, like, I'm sure that's all he cares about. Like, realistically, that's all you care about. Like, I don't know about, like, teaching you lessons right now. So yeah,
I just think it's Anyway, it's just a really interesting situation right now. So,
I think I want this show to get like dark, so I'm like waiting for it to get to that level.
Like even like 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Darker.
Yeah, but anyways, they got there. Like Betty even was saying it too. She's like, "What do you like?"
Right, and then you also So one thing that we failed to mention is Miss Lodge or Mrs. Lodge, Hermione Lodge, Veronica's mom. Hermione. Who's Spanish, by the way. Like she works at the diner. She works at Pop's Diner, and so in that part while they're outside, Cheryl notices her talking to somebody like
in the dumpster, behind the dumpster.
Like,
you couldn't get more sketch.
And then Cheryl like takes a picture. The next morning, Cheryl's like, "Yo, what's your mom doing with this Southside Angel? Like, what are they like? I guess it's supposed to be like Hell's Angels, like motorbike gang." She's like,
Southside Snakes or something.
So she's like, what is she doing with her? And so Veronica's like, great, now I have to ask my mom because like now everybody knows about this situation.
This poor girl, she's trying to get her life together, and like everyone's just fucking up around her.
Like both of her parents are like fucking her life up.
Like, fuck, man.
She can't even do anything right. And so then she does that.
She asked the mom,
and the mom's like, "Oh, that was just some disgruntled customer. I was just trying to like get rid of her."
No, she was saying, I lived here before. Like, you have to remember that. Like, I have a past here too. Like, I know these people. Yeah. Which can be true, right? Like, maybe that was like her old boyfriend or something. Who knows? Sure. Like, whatever. So like she believes it.
Yeah. So then she kind of like Veronica leaves it for that moment in time. Then in the meantime, Betty still continues to do digging because it's like,
Betty
girl,
is like
will not.
Oh, and it was funny because like I love how like that night they agreed that like Betty's like, I'll drop it, because Archie's like, please just stop, like leave me alone. And she's like, okay, cool. And then like literally the next scene, she's like,
I'm not doing
Veronica's
that.
like, so you're not dropping it? She's like, hell no. That was the best.
So that she ends up going and interviewing Miss Grundy.
Yes.
By the way, her name is Geraldine Grundy.
Yeah, like she's a grandma.
It's the dumbest name ever.
Yeah.
So she interviews her and she's
like... But was there a Grundy in the comics? I think there was.
There might be.
And she was old, I feel like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
She was that woman, I feel like, that like they showed in the picture. Who was the original Grundy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like she was an old lady.
Okay.
Anyways, we could be wrong.
Anyway, so she interviews her, and then she's trying to like get some dirt on her. At one point in time, she finds out that she was a private tutor to Jason.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
Which is also very weird. Like, what is this girl like lurking in for no reason? She's so sketchy. And then, what happens after that? They break into her car.
No, so I think she does the interview, and then like Grundy's like, okay, like I'm not answering that because Betty was like, they're both so hot, right?
Yeah.
Or something. And then she's like,
Jason's
no.
super handsome. She's like, I don't see my students like that. This
and Betty's like, yeah,
over.
okay, like calm.
And she's like, I got your secret.
Yeah. So then after like Archie and the teacher are like doing it like in her house, and then,
they're watching a movie like randomly like in the basement. Yeah, he's like, I love you, Geraldine. Like he doesn't say I love you, but like he says Geraldine. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
He said Geraldine. So then, at the same time, Betty and Veronica like go to her car, which is like the sketchiest car too. They break into the car
because Betty knows how to like
she knows how to break
doors.
Cars. Yeah, which I was thinking too, because I was like, why did that woman leave her box of like personal belongings in her shitty car that can get broken into on the street?
Yeah, it's very
like why
weird.
wouldn't you just keep it in your house?
Yes.
You're an idiot.
So anyway, they conveniently find all this information. First, they find a gun, like just sitting in the car, and then it
was in the box, I think.
In the glove box.
When Betty gets that box from the back seat, she opens it. She uses a pin to open it, and then in that there was the gun and the driver's license.
Oh, okay. So they're both in two separate places.
They're in the same box.
But like, why would it be in a box in the trunk?
Like, yeah.
If the gun was for like Anyway, because you find out something about her later. So on the ID, it says Jennifer Gibson.
Yeah. From like Mississippi or something.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
So you know that Geraldine Grundy is her like fake name.
Yeah.
Like surprise, surprise. It's like the most random name for like a young woman anyway.
Yeah.
Like who didn't think that was a fake fucking name?
Well, actually, it wasn't fake because after Betty finds out that there was a Geraldine Grundy, but like she died like 8 years ago.
Yeah,
so
and that's
like
the only record of her.
Yeah.
And so they present this information to Archie the next morning. It was actually really cute because Veronica's like, we found it on the dark web. And she's like, just kidding, just really Googled it.
Yeah.
Like, she's really cute.
Yeah.
And so then Archie's like, why are you still on this girl? Like, can you please leave me alone? But then he also got really like scared because he's like, well, who is this girl then? Like, what's going on? So then he confronts her and he's like...
Did you book it? Like, did you know that she was going to say that?
That she was going to be fake?
That she was going to be like, I had an abusive husband and like, that's why I'm here now.
Well... No, but I probably should have. I really should have.
Yeah,
because it's either she was the murderer or like
say.
she's going to say something like that.
Yeah.
So...
As soon as you say like abusive husband, like man's is like on you.
Man's changes things. And so that's basically what she admits. So she's like, I had to change my name. It was an abusive relationship. So I guess it
now,
explains
like, I'm starting over.
Yeah. So it explains like the fake ID or the real ID and like the change of the name and the gun, I guess, for protection.
True.
But that being said, like if it was in the back.
I don't think he asked her for the gun. I don't think he asked about the gun, did he?
No. But I guess like we're supposed to deduce that like she had it for protection.
Okay.
But at the same time, like if it was in the back of her trunk, like if he came after her, it's sitting in the back of your trunk, girl. What's she gonna do with that?
No, it's sitting in a locked freaking box. You have time to go grab your gun. Like it's stupid. That's what I mean. Like.
So it was funny because at one moment in time she does do like the glasses take off. She's like, Archie, you have to understand that this is like my life, and like I'm like, girl, you're
when he
so
asked
typical.
Her, he's like, just be real. She goes, okay.
She like takes her
glasses off. She like warms up, like makes herself a coffee.
So anyway, so like he's like, I forgive you or whatever. It's like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this crazy shit. So then I guess like the next day or whatever. Betty's mom, who is a reporter and she's also insane.
Yep. Insane.
She's putting away her, like Betty's laundry or whatever. So she's like opening up her drawers or whatever. Does she not like dig a little bit deeper underneath and she finds the gun that Betty obviously took from Grundy's car.
Why would you keep a gun in your underwear drawer? Like
an idiot.
Go throw it out.
Like,
or go hide it somewhere like in the ground or something.
Yeah, I don't understand like why she just like decided to put that in, especially when she like.
What's the point of the?
Anyway, I can't. Yeah. So then when the mom finds a gun, she's like, I know what to do next. So she like goes into her diary, which Betty also keeps, like a very detailed diary.
It looked like she definitely knew where the diary was and that she's read it before. Like that's the fucked up part.
That's
like
true too.
The way she went for it, like she knew where it was, she knew what page, like she just like ran for it. Like I was like, this woman's probably read this whole thing before. Like that's so creepy.
Like their relationship at this point in time reminds me a lot of like the girl from like Black Swan and her mom. And how like she was like super protective, like girl, just like put a lock on your door at this point. So like you can't just like you can't just like let your mom like run through.
The poor dad was so embarrassed.
So then the mom gets like really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And so I think they're at Pops again, and then she like rolls up.
No, that was before.
That was earlier.
Was before, yeah.
Never mind. No, so Betty gets home.
Betty gets home and she's at the door.
She's
like,
literally,
she's
like, finally you're here. She's like, come with me right now. So then she like drives.
Where did they go?
They like drive to Archie's dad's place, like Archie's place.
But is that right beside the house?
Or maybe they just like walked over. I have no clue. So basically,
No.
Betty's mom is insane.
Betty's mom and the dad went separately to Archie's dad, remember? And they knocked on the door and then she's like, tell your son not to come around to my daughter.
Yeah.
And the dad was like so embarrassed, like Betty's dad. Remember?
Oh, is that what had happened?
And then Luke Perry was like, "Bro, my kid's like good. Like don't like you know."
I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
But then I don't know where they went after. You're right. Like, but they got into the car and then like something happened. I think.
Yeah.
They went somewhere, but I don't know where they went.
I have no idea.
Anyways.
Because then it turns into nighttime.
Yeah.
I feel like the timelines here are a little
weird. And then
weird.
like it's like the night of like the screening.
Yeah. So then a lot of shit goes down in there. So there's, Kevin, Veronica.
But that was so cute, eh? Yeah. Veronica and Kevin, how she was like, do you want to be my date? He's like, okay.
So they like chill in the back of like the pickup truck and like watch this movie with
everybody.
But
also, how cute was it when he asked his dad to take the car?
Yeah.
And the dad was like, Isn't there like no other gay boys like
he's
around?
he's like, yeah, it's just like me. He's just like just me in Riverdale.
That was so cute.
Yeah, it was actually really cute to see like a supportive dad. Like,
yeah, I didn't know
this,
that
like,
he knew.
Secret storyline of like the guy like pretending to be gay or whatever. It was just
so
like
so him and Veronica like take the truck, they go.
And he said don't cruise for guys, which is also funny. He's like, don't do it. People are really sketchy there.
And then Archie's dad and Veronica's mom are on a date basically.
Yeah,
like, they're together in the car.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Cheryl.
She breaks it all up. So I think what's his face? Kevin and Veronica are like chilling, and then Cheryl like pulls up.
Yeah.
She's like, "Can I join you guys? Cool, bye." And then she like jumps into like their like
jumps into the
bed.
thing. And
that looked so cozy, by the way. Like,
so cozy. I was like a haystack. It was so cute.
And then. What happens after that? And then Kevin goes for popcorn or something. He
goes for popcorn, and then in the meantime, so does Betty or Veronica's mom, Hermione.
Yeah.
She dips from the car.
She gets like pure sketch. She gets a message. She's like, I gotta go. He's like, what? I'll go get it for you. She's like, no.
I'll get the popcorn. I need a powder my nose / like do some shady shit.
What does powder my nose mean? Like do cocaine? Like what is?
It just means like.
I know, but like who fucking says that now? It's like 1950s. Like.
So. Veronica, I think, sees her do this. Is that what happens? Yes.
No. So I think what happens is Veronica's like in the car. She like looks or something, and like she sees her mom like walking to like the corner of like the alleyway. Yeah. And then she like lurks to her mom after.
Yeah. She talks to her after.
But meanwhile, Kevin like books like one of the biker dudes like checking him out.
Yes, and he's like, "Yo, you don't have a beard right now." So like, then you also like realize that like maybe does Kevin have like some like side story?
He said what to him?
He said something like, "Oh, is that what he meant? Beard as in like, she's her beard."
Huh?
What?
What are you talking about?
Because at one point in time, the Southside guy comes up to Kevin while he's in line, and he says something like, "Oh, you're different without your beard."
I was wondering what he meant. I was wondering what he was saying to him.
And now I'm only just realizing a beard, for those of you who don't know, a beard is someone who pretends to be your like straight girlfriend, so then pretends that you're straight. So
that's what he meant.
I just got that literally just now. Because then like cut to the next scene, like they're both making out like at the end of the movie.
Very aggressively.
Very aggressively. And so then he like gives him his number, like, and then you find out that he's like a Southside snake.
Yeah.
So that will probably unfold later on too.
Plus the fact that Kevin's like the sheriff's son, like it's gonna be like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, exactly. So what else do we learn this night?
Okay, so basically what happens with Veronica's mom is that Veronica's mom gives money to like the South Side, like another gangster, because essentially what happened was Veronica's dad ends up buying the whole lot of where like the drive-in is.
Yeah.
And they basically wanted the South Side snakes to
find a way to drop the price.
Drop the price of that land, and then so that the guy can buy it for like really cheap.
So that's where like the bribing of them. So the bag of money we see like earlier in the episode is given to the mayor. So the mayor is the one that closes the deal.
Yeah, the mayor connects the two parties.
Or the lodges.
Yeah.
So then she does that, and then on the other side, she needs to give more money to this Southside guy because like he's like
because he did his job essentially.
And he's like getting mad at her because like she's not giving enough money or whatever.
So that happens. That transaction goes through. So
and then Veronica's like,
that.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then so that happens. And then what happens? Oh my god, this scene like killed me when Luke Perry's like in the car and freaking Betty's mom comes crashing into his window. Like this woman is legit psycho.
She's like, you need to come in right now.
She
and he's like,
bangs on his. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
And he's like,
Jesus, Alice.
You couldn't like give me a phone call or like wait a little bit later. Like you had
to come with me right now.
So then they have to split. Obviously, he's like, it's about your son. So then you find out that
Alice knows about the teacher, and Betty's crying. Now they're at the school, and Archie's with his dad. Everyone's there now.
Everybody's there.
Grundy's like hiding in the corner.
So then, right before that happens, Archie gives her like a bow. He like sells his guitar and like gives her like a violin bow, and she's like, "Why'd you have to do that?" And I was like, "This is so lame.
Yeah,
no
Archie,
high school
why'd you
student
have
would
to
ever
do
that." And then he's like, on top of that, he's like, "I'm breaking up with you because like this can't
like
happen
my goodbye
anymore."
gift, yeah.
And she's like, "True, that's totally fair." They give each other a hug, and then like perfect timing, like Alice like storms the fuck in with everybody being like explain this whole situation.
She's like, "See, look at Mom!
She's so fucking crazy.
Like, even her tone is, like, too amplified for this episode. Like, everyone's like, what?
So everybody's
like,
there.
even Luke Perry was like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, my son just got laid. Like, fuck.
So she's like, I've tried all this time to, like, get rid of sexual predators, like, child predators.
It's been my mission in my life to end child
predators, like, in the city,
in high school.
in the South. So anyway, so she's, like, basically threatening Grundy to, like, leave, or some shit will go down. She's gonna go to jail, or she wants to send her to jail. And then Betty turns up and she's like, you know what, listen, bitch,
like,
if you do that, then I'm gonna like, I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna like show people that I'm like really crazy, because she's like already,
I'm like Polly.
She's like, AKA people already think that our family's like fucking insane thanks to you and Polly. Yeah. So basically it'll just like,
she's like, everyone already knows Bob. We crazy.
So she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like define that, and she's like, okay, then I'm gonna back off. But then Grundy's like, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah. Archie was like, just don't hurt her, like, just like, you know, whatever. And then she's like, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna leave. Don't worry, I'll peace out, and like this will all be done.
The entire time, like, Luke Perry's like, low-key, like, good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, he doesn't even care that much, like, realistically.
He's like, honestly.
He's like kind of like happy with that.
So that happens.
So then you also learn by the end of the episode.
I'm just like I'm uneasy with the fact that Alice knows about all of this. You know, like she's just
like
so
gonna
cray-cray.
drop it. And she's gonna be like, okay, I'm done now.
So anyway, that was the end of that. What else happened?
And then you find out.
So Veronica ends up confronting her mom, and she's like, Mom, I saw you doing everything. Like, who's that like hot biker guy?
Yeah, who's from Scream, by the way. I was like, ooh, who's that? I remember him.
He was really cute. And then in the end, it's like the morning after.
Yeah.
And then Betty has a talk with her mom. She was like, Mom, what's my name? Oh, Nana, what's my name? And then her mom was like, Elizabeth. She's like, yeah, Mom, I'm not Polly. You can't.
Polly
and then, so that happened.
Yeah, so
the
then
mom's
she's like,
true. She's like, I'll calm down. Like, I won't, like, be crazy anymore.
She's like, I know you're, like, your own person or whatever. Like, I love you.
But, like, also, like, why'd you have a gun in your, like, underwear drawer? Like, it's
like,
so
how is
weird.
everybody forgetting all the more, like, important details?
That's the thing. It's like, bro, this woman had a gun. Like, and Jason was her student. Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Like, forget the sexual part of this all. Like, what about the criminal part? Like, what if she killed him?
So then it, like, cuts to, like, the next morning, and then, like, you see, like, Grundy, like, leaving, but she's also, like, lurking on a
she was so sketch. She was packing up her car, and she's wearing, like, heart-shaped glasses, first of all, and she's wearing, like, skimpy outfit now. She's no longer like the teacher outfit.
Yeah, she's like, now I'm gonna be.
And she's like, there's like these two like hot like jocks like walking down the street. She totally brings down her glasses. Yeah. And she like checks them out.
Goes, JC's mom.
I was like, yo, this woman is pure sketch.
Totally.
So where's she gonna go now?
Now she's gonna go look on some nice men. Originally, I had a theory that she was like off trying to kill off all of the redheads in Riverdale, but that's obviously not the case. No. So anyway, we don't even know what happens in that storyline.
So yeah, we don't know if she's gonna leave for sure or she'll be back by like end of the season. I feel like she'll be back by end of season.
Or she's still gonna stick around and like lurk and like cause some shit.
Yeah. But it was cute when Archie was crying, right? When he hugged his dad, because like he like loved her.
Yeah.
That was cute.
He's like heartbroken.
Yeah, he's like heartbroken, and then his dad's like, "Don't worry, like it's secure for us."
He's like, "You literally have 2 girls chasing you right now. Can you please like stick with your own age
like
group?"
More than 2.
It's not even that hard. Okay, so then we also find out at the very end that Jugsies has to like leave his like little hotel apartment.
Home.
So he like spray paints the wall. And then the Southside guy, the one who was making the deal with Veronica's mom, he's like, so where are you going to go now? You're going to be homeless again? And he's like, I'm going to figure it out, Dad.
I knew that was going to come.
Yeah, and then you find out that like it's his dad.
Because at this point, like, we still haven't met his parents, so I'm like, it has to come around this time. Like,
yeah.
Everyone else has parents, but he doesn't. But that also leads to like a whole nother story of like what happened to his family. You know, where's his sister that he was talking about? Or where's his mom? Like, why is now his dad like in a biker gang and like he's like doesn't have a house? Like, what's going on with that whole family?
Always in the biker gang, yeah.
Or like I feel like the sister died and like then the dad like got like sketched out, so he joined a biker gang and then he couldn't take care of his son, so his son became homeless.
It's pretty elaborate, but it's possible.
That's my guess.
It's definitely possible. So okay, so I know this is a long episode, but we've covered off 1 to 4. We're gonna try to make this as weekly as possible.
Next week we'll do like chapter 5.
Yeah, just chapter 5 and just cover it off. But I think this is our new hot topic. Like,
this is definitely a hot topic. At lunchtime, this is all we talk about.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely lots of fun to watch.
And you know, it's funny because like with PLL, we love watching PLL, but there was so many like, you know, areas where like they just were missing, or that things just got dragged on. Like we were talking about like the fact that like Arya was with her teacher. Like there was that whole student-teacher affair.
Yeah.
But that legit lasted for like 2 years.
Full season. Like, and then he like Ezra lingered for like years after that.
And like you and me were both saying like after this like you didn't realize like Grundy would come out this fast.
And then she's done.
And now she's done.
Yeah.
Or could come back, but at least like now that secret's out.
Yes.
And
it didn't like
it's
drag
not, like,
on
lingering,
for an entire season.
It's a good thing.
It's cool to see that the show Riverdale is like doing the teen drama, but it's doing it in a different way. It's like a lot more fast paced. It's a lot more, the writing is a lot more tight and intriguing. There's a few holes here and there, obviously, which is a given. It's a CW show. We can't give it like, it's not like Oscar worthy or anything, but it's a fun show to watch. I think it's really cool that they put these like Archie characters into it. It's like, but it's got a really cool dark spin to it. There's a murder in it.
And music's on point.
The characters are lots of fun to watch.
Yeah,
you know, like the girls are killing it. I think Veronica, Betty, like I think they've really encapsulated like those characters. Even Archie being like this like idiot curmudgeon, and I think it's like funny to see him even admit at the end of the episode being like, I was being really selfish, because like the entire from episode 1 to 4, I was like, this kid is like so selfish. He doesn't care about anybody else, and all he cares about is his music career and like fucking his teacher, which is like too much to deal with. So it's cool to see like these characters be who they are on a more real, cool level in this world. So
for sure.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen next.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like where it's going.
So let us know what you guys think, because I think
like
that
recap?
do you guys like our recap? Do you guys have any questions about this world? We're all being introduced to it at the exact same time, so this is pretty fresh for us too, to experience a new television show together.
I remember reading the comics, but like I never read it like each comic, every episode. Like so I don't know the ins and outs of it all. So yeah, it's cool. I'm excited.
That's it. Bye.
Peace.